So for today's class, I want to go over on-page SEO, which is essentially optimizing your website. So there's two aspects of SEO. There's on-page SEO and off-page SEO. On-page SEO is really anything that just affects your website, like touches your website. So if you add content to your website, if you add a blog to your website, that's all on-page SEO. Off-page SEO is anything that's not touching your website. So let's say you had an article published on the Huffington Post. That's not on your website, it's on Huffington Post. So that would be off-page SEO. Or social media, like if you join Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, that's not affecting your website. So that would be off-page SEO. On-page SEO is what I want to cover today. And it is the first starting point in terms of what I do for SEO for my own clients and for myself or for anyone else is start off with optimizing your website. And then from there, you could go to the off-page SEO. But first, you want to optimize your website. That is the main thing. And make sure it's all properly optimized with the right keywords in the right areas. That way, Google could better understand what your website's about. So there are quite a few things that Google is looking for, but this is important because the search engines read your website. So by putting keywords in different areas on your website, search engines can actually figure out what this page is about. Without content or keywords, it's going to be really tough for the search engines to understand what your website's about. So on-page SEO is really just helping the search engines better understand what you're offering, what your product or your service or whatever your business might be or your website is about. Also, it helps them understand what your website is about because Google or search engines, they're just reading your website and they need you to give them as much information as possible. They're looking in different areas that have more effect on what Google's looking for, but they just want you to give them as much information as possible so they can figure out what this website is about and how to rank it and what keywords they should show you for. This is really the main thing about on-page SEO is you're telling Google what keywords you want to be shown for. Then they're going to take all that information, compile it into their search engine, their algorithm, and figure out where to place you. But you're letting Google know what keywords you want to rank for. So this is really important. It's really the first step in search engine optimization and getting more traffic to your website. And in essence, this is again going to bring more traffic to your website. Google is going to be able to figure out what keywords to show you for, and they will start showing you in the search results for when people search for those specific keywords. So make sure first step always in terms of optimizations or getting traffic to your website is optimizing it. This does help out for a lot of other stuff. It does help out for ads. If you are running paid ads on Google Ads, the better your website's optimized, the lower the ads will cost. Let's say you're running ads on Google, it might cost $1 per click, $1 cost per click, CPC. Anytime anyone clicks on your ad, it's going to cost $1. But if you have good on-page SEO, Google will drop that from $1 to, they don't tell you the exact numbers, but maybe it might drop to 89 cents per click. So you're saving 11 cents per click. And over time, that's going to save a lot of money. So even though it seems like not that much, but this does help out. So there's a lot of other stuff this helps out with as well. But these are the main advantages. And this is why I always recommend to everyone is first starting point in terms of optimizing or doing SEO is optimize your website. And there is a lot of different things that Google's looking for nowadays. Google, unfortunately, is a lot more sophisticated. There's a lot more competition out there nowadays. So Google has a lot more variables that they're looking at in terms of on-page SEO. But I always tell people, don't be overwhelmed. There are a lot of different things that Google's looking for, and it's constantly changing and evolving. And this is just a sample of the more important things. There's hundreds of factors that go into Google's algorithm, but think about it like this. It's like a puzzle. You don't have to, some pieces are a lot bigger than others. You don't have to worry about these really tiny pieces until later on when you're on that first page of Google and then you're competing against everyone else. But in reality, you only need to focus on the more important aspects. And that's what I'm going to go over today is the more important aspects of optimizing your website. Because again, you can see there are a lot of different things that I could go over that Google is looking for. But some are more important than others. And I don't want you to get bogged down and stuck on all these really technical ones when they don't have that big of an impact. And I'll go over as the main ones in the next couple slides that will show you what you need to be looking out for in terms of how to best optimize your website and how to let Google know exactly what your website's about and how they could better read it. So again, don't be overwhelmed. There are a lot of different things that Google is looking for, but that's just what they are doing. And with SEO also, one other thing is we're not competing against Google. So don't think you need to do everything. I mean, it's great if you could do everything, but what matters is we're not trying to beat Google's algorithm. What we're trying to do is figure out who's on that first page of Google. Whoever's on that first page of Google, those 10 websites are your competitors, and we have to figure out how much SEO have they done. Have they done site usability, or they fixed their speed, or do they have breadcrumb errors, or do they have title tags or meta descriptions, or all these technical things? But what matters is we just need to beat them. We don't need to beat Google. So don't worry about trying to make sure that you have everything checked off the boxes. That is not what matters. What matters is how much SEO has your competitors done and how can we do more than them. So don't be overwhelmed with all this stuff, because Google is not looking for everything. I mean, they are, but they're just looking for you to do more SEO than your competitors. So with on-page SEO, this is a paid course that I do. So I'm just giving out a snippet of it. So I'll show you all the different topics, and then I'll show you the more important ones, because in 40 minutes, it's tough for me to cover all these aspects. And again, some are a lot more important than others. And I want you to take away the most important things that will actually have a significant increase in your rankings. So if you are looking to come to these other classes, I do full day ones that are 6 hours or 4 hours that go in depth about all this stuff. So if you want, we'll talk about that later on. But with on-page SEO, the main things is content creation. Putting content on your website is really the first step and the most important. And I kind of prioritize these in order of importance. So like title tags. So I'll cover the first couple ones. Page title tags, what they are, why are they important. Meta descriptions, also another really important element on your website for you to optimize. So these are the main ones that I want to cover today. Then there's some other stuff like images. You want to optimize your images because images appear in Google. You could search by Google Images, and sometimes Google shows images in the search results. So if you could have images optimized and your website's optimized, that doubles the chances of someone finding you and clicking onto your website. Then there's header tags, a little more technical, your URL structure. We want to make sure your URLs are clean and don't have excessive words. Having a sitemap, which is like a roadmap to Google, showing Google all the pages on your website, because Google's not going to know that you have 50 pages or 50 products on your website. They might find 5 or 10 or 20 products, but they're not going to find all the pages on your website. So you need a sitemap and you need to submit it to Google. Really important. Website speed. I mean, the faster your website loads. Google actually said this is a ranking factor a few years ago. So the faster your website loads, the better off you're going to rank, and the better the usability. I mean, think about it from a user point of view. If you're coming onto a website and it takes 10 seconds to load or 5 seconds to load, that's not a good user experience. You're going to get frustrated, especially on mobile. If you're on a mobile device and the website loads really slowly, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to probably leave that website. It impacts SEO slightly. It's not that big of an impact for SEO, but for user experience, it definitely impacts that. Nobody wants to wait for a slow loading website nowadays, especially when there's so many options on Google or out there on the web that if your website loads slow, they're just going to hit that back button and go to the other websites on that first page and see who's out there. So make sure your website loads quickly. Make sure it's mobile friendly. This one is pretty important because if your website's not mobile friendly, it's not going to appear on mobile devices. And nowadays, mobile devices bring about 60% of your traffic, if not more. So having a mobile friendly website is very important in terms of getting traffic and just making sure you're up to date with 2020. And if your website's mobile friendly, Google might not think it's mobile friendly. And that's where I'd cover that, is letting you know how Google could figure out if your website's actually mobile friendly or not. Because I have a lot of clients that have mobile friendly websites, but Google doesn't think it's mobile friendly. And that means they're not showing up in any of the searches on mobile devices, which is a lot nowadays. And having a company blog is just a way to add more content to your website. I'm sure everyone's heard about blogging and the benefits to it, but it does help out for SEO. And so there's a lot of factors that go into blogging on how to maximize your blog and try to get as much value as possible out of that blog post or your blog content. And there are quite a few things with on-page SEO. and optimizing your website, but some are a lot more important than others. And we'll start off. So before I even start off though, it does help if, so what you're gonna need to do for a lot of this stuff is you're gonna have to go into your website and make changes. So depending on what platform you're on, the names of these on-page elements and the placements of them are going to be slightly different. So it's really tough for me to show examples for everyone's platforms, especially in larger classes like this. Whereas what I would say is if you are comfortable going into your website, you can make these changes yourself. If you're not comfortable, you might need to find a web developer. If you have a web developer, utilize them. If you don't have one, there's websites like freelancer.com is pretty good at finding web developers that could help you out with some of these changes. But if you can make them yourself, that's great. Every platform is different. So with WordPress, in order to do a lot of these changes, you're going to want to add, it's called plugins. So if you have a WordPress website, you want to add in plugins like Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. Yoast, S-E-O, is a free plugin on WordPress. It's a really popular SEO plugin. There's a lot of other plugins out there, but Yoast is one of the more popular ones. So if you have WordPress, what you're going to need to do is add a plugin called Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. If you're on Shopify, you don't really need to do much. Shopify takes care of a lot of stuff. That's why you're paying Shopify, whatever it is, $30 or $60 a month, is because Shopify takes care of a lot of stuff for you. WordPress is free. So WordPress, you don't need to do the paid plugins. Some of these plugins, like Yoast, will say upgrade to a paid version, but you really don't need that. The free version is perfectly fine, and it takes care of everything you need. Shopify, it's all built in. Wix and Squarespace kind of limit some of the on-page SEO that you could do. It's not the biggest deal, so don't worry about it if you're on Wix or Squarespace. It's not the biggest deal, but if you are thinking of rebuilding your website, I would look at WordPress. It's probably the better option just because there's so many features and functionality to it, and it's free, and it can do everything that Shopify could do for free. Shopify is great. It's more user-friendly, but you do have to pay $60. With WordPress, you could add a plugin called WooCommerce on WordPress, and it'll make it an e-commerce website, and you can do everything you can do on Shopify on WordPress for free. So again, the platforms, it's not the biggest deal. Don't think that you need to switch platforms just because I'm telling you, because Wix and Squarespace, they're just limiting you on some of the stuff that's not that important for SEO. The more important stuff, all the big platforms take care of it, like the title tag, the meta description, the images, the stuff in the first couple bullet points. Those are all taken care of by all the platforms. But once we get down to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, those ones, Wix and Squarespace, they let you do some of it, but they don't let you do all of it. They're getting better and they're adding more features as they go, but still right now they don't let you do everything. So it's not the biggest deal. So with on-page SEO, content is most important. Content is number one. I am doing another webinar. So I do these webinars every week, every Wednesday. So I'm doing one next week all about content creation. So I'll just touch on some of the more important things today. But if you really want to learn about content, I'm doing a whole class next week about content and how to optimize it, because content is the most important thing for your website. Content needs to be 400 words on average. So those are just averages, but 400 words or more is what I usually tell people. The more content, the better that you can put. And this is for every page on your website that you want to rank. So when we're talking about on-page SEO, we're not just ranking your website, we're ranking every page on your website. Every page is a different opportunity to rank for different keywords. So any page that you want to rank on Google, you're going to need to put about 400 words of content on it. Don't worry about like the About Us page, contact page. Those aren't pages you want to rank. Any of your services, the products, those are the pages that you want to rank on Google. Like terms of service, privacy policy, those aren't pages that need to be optimized. It's any of the pages where you're selling your products, the categories, your services. Those are the pages that you want to optimize. So 400 words or more. Keep it for middle school reading level. Unless you're selling something very technical, you don't need to overcomplicate things. So simplify things. Focus on the reader. Like put yourself in the user's point of view. If you were looking for your product or service, what would you want to read about it? What do you want to hear? What's going to make you want to use that website's products or services? So just step back and put yourself in the user's point of view and make it short, concise, easy. I know I'm saying 400 words, but make it concise sentences. Don't just add a bunch of filler words. Have it informative. The 400 words doesn't have to be 400 words of like just paragraphs. You could break it up into bullet points, into different sections. So it doesn't just have to be 400 word paragraph right there on your website. That's a little too much. Break it up into bullet points and separate it up. But content needs to be original. That is really important. It has to be 100% unique. If it's been published on other websites or other pages on your website, it's not going to have that same value and effect. So again, content is the most important, but I am doing a whole course on it next week, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But those are the main takeaways, and I will spend a lot more time later. But for today, I do want to talk about more of the more technical on-page SEO elements, which is the page title tag. By far is the second most important aspect or area to put keywords on your website. This is where Google is looking for you to put keywords and let them know exactly what this page is about. So every platform is going to call it something different. It might be called title tag, page title, SEO title. So it has a bunch of different names on every platform. So just look out for like something that says SEO page title tag. That's what you're going to be looking for. And this is where you want to optimize and put your keywords in here. So what this is, I should show you an example. So the SEO title tag is actually this. Let me show you. So this is the title tag before I even jump into the slides. Is a blue clickable link that shows up in Google. So when you search in Google, you see that blue clickable link that appears in the search results. That is called the SEO title tag. This is the most important place to put your keywords out of anywhere else on your website. If you don't put your keywords on this page, it's going to be really tough for Google to understand what this page is about. So this SEO title tag is where you're going to put your keywords. We keep it to 60 characters. So 60 characters max. It could be longer, but if it's longer than 60 characters, it gets a little ... and gets cut off by Google. So again, this is a blue clickable link that shows up in the search results. It's really, really important to optimize this. If you're trying to custom code it with yourself, if you don't have like WordPress or Shopify or Wix or Squarespace, you can let me know if you want to throw it in the chat. I can try to figure out how to optimize it. But if you want to code it, this is how you code it. You put title in carrots, which are the little greater than and lesser than sign symbols, and then you put your code in there, the content in there. But again, each platform is slightly different. So if you don't know how to get your page title tag, if you're kind of like wondering, where do I how do I find this, Brandon? I don't see it. Just search in Google, how to optimize my SEO page title tag for WordPress or Shopify or whatever your platform is. If you're on Wix, search in Google, how to optimize my SEO page title tag for Wix. And I'm going to show you exactly where it is, how to optimize it, what needs to be done. Just don't look at the fine print where they're going to tell you, like Shopify, I think tells you to use 70 characters for the page title tag, which is okay, but it's really about 60 characters. So don't look at the numbers that they tell you, like Wix and all these other platforms. They're going to tell you different numbers. 60 characters is what the SEO page title tag should be. It's okay to have it longer, but just be aware that it gets cut off and they're not going to see it, or nobody's going to see it. 60 characters is the average. If you only have 40 characters in your page title tag, I would try to say you have room for another 1 or 2 keywords. Add more keywords in there. The more keywords you put in that SEO title tag, the more keywords you're going to be able to rank for. And so let me show you an example. So I'm not sure if anyone has a keyword you want me to search for in Google, and I'll show you how we could see other people's title tags and see what they're using. Because when I'm doing this research for SEO title tags, I'm just going to look at what my competitors are using and get some ideas, and then do my own, and then implement them on my own website. So let me switch over and let me get over to a page. I see a couple people throwing in some keywords. So Candace threw in organic skincare. So I'll show you how I would search with that. So let me pull up. So let me see, hopefully. So let me search in Google for that keyword. And let's see what shows up on that first page of Google, because this is going to show me what SEO title tags these other people have been using. So organic skincare, I'm not sure why my computer is loading a little slow, but when you search your keyword in Google, you're going to see all these websites that are on that first page of Google. And again, like we're saying, we're not competing against Google. We're competing against these 10 other websites on that first page of Google. So I want to see what they're using for their SEO title tag. So skip over ads. So if you can see my page right now, we're not going to look at any ads. If there's any ads on that first page of Google, that's not the same thing. So here is an ad. You can see they have a blue clickable link. This is not the same as the SEO organic title tag. So here is SEO. This, you can see it doesn't have the word ad next to it. And this is the blue clickable link, the title tag or the page title, depending on what platform you're on. And this is what keywords your competitors are using on this page. We can see exactly what keywords they're using. That way you can figure out what keywords do you want to use on your title tag. Because I'm sure everyone's wondering, what do I put for this title tag? How do I figure it out? You want to do keyword research. There's tools that show you how to do that. That's a whole nother topic in itself, but you want to, this is a quick way to do keyword research, is let's spy on your competitors and see what they've utilized or used for their SEO title tag. Because if they're on the first page of Google, there's a reason they're there. They didn't just all of a sudden get there. They've put in the time and effort and done the keyword research, and you can just look at what they've used and get ideas and incorporate it into your own website. So we could see this one is the first one on the first page of Google. They put in there 15 best natural and organic skincare brands for that perfect. So these are the keywords they're using. They're using the keyword best natural organic skincare brands. Those are the main keywords. Then we can see who's number two. Number two, they're using, you can see there's going to be a lot of overlap when we do this. They're using their SEO title tag is 40 best organic skincare brands of 2020 reviewed by. Then you can see these are getting cut off by the little ... So these are over 60 characters. It's okay to have it over 60 characters, but you can see it gets cut off. But you can see that there's a lot of overlap. They're using, instead of, the first one uses 15 best natural organic skincare brands. This one is using the keywords 40 best organic skincare brands. So they didn't use the word natural, but they still put the word best organic skincare brands. And you can see the first one, they put skincare as one word. The second one is skincare as two words. This is where you got to figure out which one do I want to utilize. And I would look at what other people are doing, and you could get ideas of what other people are doing. Because if you see a lot of people are using it as one word, I would use it as one word. If you see a lot of people are using it as two words, use it as two words. If you see there's a mix, then you just got to figure out which one has the most search volume using different keyword tools, like the Google Keyword Planner is a free tool that shows you how many people search for your keyword every single month. But again, we're just going to look at what other people are using in these blue clickable links. Always skip over ads. So if there's any ads at the bottom, don't look at the ads. It's very different what they're doing versus what SEO organic. But we could see almost everyone is using the word organic skincare products or best. It looks like a lot of them are using the word best. So this would give me ideas like maybe I should use the word best organic skincare products in my SEO title tag. Again, you gotta get creative. This is where copywriting and SEO come into play, is you want to fit as many keywords in here as possible. You also want to make it flow into like a sentence that makes sense. If you get stuck, or if you're like, I don't know what to put in here, a lot of people put these vertical bars, these pipes right here, like Sephora is doing. They're putting clean skincare, then they're putting a vertical pipe, then they have natural and organic options, and then they have a vertical pipe, and then they have their name Sephora. So again, you want to squeeze in as much as you can in that as possible. You don't want to repeat the same word over and over again. So you don't want to put in there skincare 2 times. That's just wasted space. Or you don't want to put the word organic in there twice. You can see no one's really doing it on the first page of Google, but sometimes people repeat the same word over and over again, and that is wasted space on this SEO title tag. Also, you can see right here, this one is putting 20 best organic and natural skincare products. They use the word A-N-D. You only have 60 characters. You don't want to waste space on words like and or if or but. So instead of using and, you can see what Sephora did. They used the ampersand sign to save space, because your SEO title tag is one of the most important real estate pieces you have on your website, because people see this. Most of the stuff that we do for SEO is really behind the scenes, and not many people see it. But this SEO title tag is actually shown to people as that blue clickable link. So it's really, really important that you optimize that. And I would put don't have it all in capital letters. Have it just the first letter of each word as a capital letter. Don't have all caps. It's kind of like you're yelling at that person and it's a little too much. Again, just look at what your competitors are doing. Look at what the people on the first page are doing. This is going to give you ideas of what you should incorporate. And one thing though, just don't overthink this part of it, but it's not really 60 characters because Google doesn't count characters. Google's looking at pixels. I forget the exact number of pixels that you have for the SEO title tag, but it's really pixels. On average, it's about 60 characters, but pixels, there's a certain amount of space. Let's say there's 300 pixels. If you're using the capital letter D for every letter, or if you just use a capital letter D, you can only fit maybe like 30 of those capital letter D's in those pixels because there's not that much space. If you're using the capital letter I, you could probably use 90 or 100 of those. So just be aware, it's not really the number or 60 characters, it's actually pixels, but characters is a lot easier for people to use, and that's how I use it, is looking at characters. But just be aware, some people use, let me see if I can find it. So instead of using the vertical pipe, some people use a dash, and this dash actually takes up more pixels than the vertical pipe. So any way to save space on this SEO title tag is going to be so beneficial because you want to put more keywords in here. You can put your company name in here as well, but I usually tell people you don't need to put your company name in here. You can see a lot of websites aren't. Some of them are, like Sephora did, but Sephora's website name is Sephora. It's like 7 letters or 8 letters. My company name is SEO Optimizers. That's like 10 or 11 characters. That means I'm missing out on putting keywords in there that I could have put in there instead of putting on my company name, because my company is SEO Optimizers. Not many people are brand dependent on SEO Optimizers yet. Hopefully that will change. But right now, I'm a small, medium-sized website. People aren't going to see SEO Optimizers instantly be like, I need to click on them because I recognize brand. Maybe now you might, since you've heard me speak and come to my classes. But in general, most people are not going to be brand dependent. So I'm not going to put my company name in that SEO title tag. I'm going to put my company name below it in this black text, which is the meta description, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the SEO page title tag is where I just want to fit in as many keywords as possible without wasting space, without repeating myself, without using unnecessary words. SEO title tag is the most important. If you don't do anything, but you optimize your SEO title tag, you will see a boost in traffic. You have to make sure you do a unique one on each page on your website. So every page on your website should have an SEO title tag, and it has to be unique. You don't want to copy the same SEO title tag on each page on your website. That's a little strange. Google's going to be like, why are you targeting the same keywords on each page? And if you're targeting the same keywords on multiple pages, now you're just competing against yourself. Now you become your own competitor. And now it's called cannibalizing your results, where you're just competing for the same keyword on 2 pages, whereas combining them onto 1 page is going to be a lot better. So don't have multiple pages targeting different or the same keywords. You want each page on your website to target a different set of keywords. So here's an example of a title tag that a lot of people put on their website, just saying like, my awesome website, or they put my great website, because they don't realize that the SEO title tag is really important for putting keywords. So a better one would put, like, for myself, if I was trying to teach these classes and promote them, I would put learn SEO and digital marketing strategies. And you can see I put the ampersand sign to save space. I'm not repeating the same keyword over and over again. I'm using different keywords. I'm capitalizing the first letter of each keyword, and I'm trying to make it flow into a sentence if possible. And that is the best way to do these SEO title tags. And here you can see our examples of these SEO title tags on websites. And you can just search on your own and you'll see what your competitors are doing. The nice thing about SEO is everything is out there in the open. I could see everything you're doing, and unfortunately you can see everything I'm doing. So it's all transparent. If you know how to look in the right places, you can see all this information of what your competitors' strategies are, how they're implementing them, what they're utilizing, what keywords they're using, how they are trying to get this traffic, if they're using any incentives like free shipping, or putting their phone number in there, or putting their company name in there. But again, company name in there, I might hold off on it unless your company is really like 4 or 5 letters, like Target, Walmart, Costco. They'll put them in there because you're brand dependent on them, and it's really short. It's not a long drawn out name, because there's not that much space to put keywords if you have a long SEO title tag. And the one other place I want to talk about really quickly is the SEO meta description, or the page meta description. Is the black text that shows up underneath the blue clickable link in Google. This is 160 characters. Every platform is going to tell you something different. It used to be, well, it started off as 160 characters. Google doubled it a few years ago to 320 characters, and then they reversed it to 160 characters a year ago. So right now it's 160 characters. Shopify is going to tell you 320 characters. A lot of these tools are not accurate. Again, everything changes with SEO or digital marketing. Everything is really dynamic, so don't trust what you read. I mean, what I'm telling you might be outdated in a couple of weeks or months. I mean, for the most part, you should be good, but you never know. Everything changes. So keep coming to my classes, and I'll keep you up to date with what's working today versus what works yesterday or last week or last month. But again, this is black text, shows up in the underneath the blue clickable link. And this is just a description of what that page is about. You don't really need to worry about putting keywords in here, because when you write a description of what your page is about, you're naturally going to put a keyword in there. It would be a little strange if you're writing a description about this page and you don't mention the keyword. So I tell people all the time, you don't need to worry about putting keywords, because naturally when you describe that page, you're going to put them in there. But the SEO title tag that we just talked about is where you just put keywords only. This description is sentences. This is descriptive of what this page is about. It's usually 2 or 3 sentences just describing what that page is about with the call to action. I always tell people, put a call to action. That way that incentivizes people to click onto your listing. If you're ranked number 2 and you're an e-commerce website and you're offering free shipping, but nobody else is offering free shipping, that's going to draw people's eye into your listing. Even though you're not number 1, you are offering something that nobody else is. So a meta description that is bad would be like, this is a fun site, I hope you enjoy it. It doesn't tell people what this website is about. It's telling them it's fun, but why is it fun? What is it that you're promoting? Versus this one is a better meta description, where it says SEO optimizers will show you what it takes to make your online business succeed. Sign up today. So my call to action is sign up today. I can put my phone number, like call today for a free consultation or whatever it may be for your incentive, your call to action, but you should put something in there to differentiate yourself from everyone else. And here is an example of that black text underneath the blue clickable link, which is the SEO meta description, or the SEO meta description, page meta description. Unfortunately, all the platforms call it slightly different names, but it's called, just look for something called the SEO meta description. And if you're getting confused or lost, don't know where to go, just search in Google, where is the meta description for Shopify, or where is the meta description for WordPress, or where is it for Wix? And they'll tell you exactly where it is. So you'll be able to figure it out or find out where it is and how to best optimize it and implement it. And see some questions popping in. So I want to get to the questions. So before we get to the questions though, if you do want to come out, I am doing a full day class on this topic, well, on SEO and social media marketing that covers everything that we've talked about and more in depth on August 15th. It's 10 or less people, so I try to keep it more smaller, personalized classes. So I can actually show you how to make these changes on your different platforms. If you're on WordPress, I can show you how to optimize it. If you're on Wix and all these different platforms. So if you want to come out to that, it's normally $199, but due to the lockdown and the quarantine and everything that's going on, can't do them in person. So I don't have to spend the money on a room, which usually costs like $1,000 to rent a room. So I'm able to pass that savings on to you. So it's $99 to sign up for the full day class. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it covers SEO, social media. I talk about Google Analytics. So I do keyword research. And again, keep it to 10 or less people, get a certificate of completion if you're trying to transition careers or show your boss that, hey, I've got certified for SEO and social media. If you want to check that out, you could go to seooptimizers.com/learn, and you could sign up there for that class. And again, I do SEO full time. So if you have a website and you want me to check it out from an SEO point of view, if you go to seooptimizers.com/free, you can schedule a 15-minute consultation where I'm happy to check out your website, look at it from an SEO point of view, and let you know if there's any issues, any things that are missing. We can look at the keywords, you can look at your competitors, we can look at whatever you want in regards to SEO. So if you're interested in that, check it out, seooptimizers.com/free. And if you do want to get a copy of 60 of my favorite SEO tools And this presentation, you could text the word SEO to the number 313131. So if you text the word SEO, the number 313131, you'll get a copy of this and 60 of my favorite free tools, not paid tools, but free SEO and social media tools. So everyone, I thank everyone for coming out, and we could do some Q&A now. So if you do have any questions, if you want to throw it in the chat, I see a few popped up. So let me see what everyone, or what questions. So see, one question was 60 characters. Does that include spaces for the SEO title tag and the meta description? So yes, the 60 characters and the 160 characters, the 60 characters for the title tag and the 160 for the meta description include spaces. And Victoria, I see you're asking a question. I'm not sure what numbers you're regarding to, if you want to elaborate on that, but I see Jeffrey's asking, what are those blue clickable links at the bottom? So sometimes websites have what's called site links at the bottom of it. Those are all random. You can't control them. Sometimes they appear, sometimes they don't appear. So if your website has blue clickable links underneath your website, those are just site links. These are just popular pages on your website that Google is showing in order to help people get to your pages faster. And so, see a few other questions during my learning curve regarding keywords. I've been advised to look at long tail keywords to try and incorporate them into my content. How do I know if I'm competing to rank for all of them, if I'm only targeting 60 characters? So keywords, long tail keywords, Alana. So you want to target long tail keywords. You don't want to just rank for the word SEO. That's a short tail keyword. There's no intent for it. A good keyword, a long tail keyword is a keyword that's 3 or more words, like SEO class near me. That's less than 60 characters. So that would be a long tail keyword. And you want to focus on long tail keywords only. If you can't fit them in that 60 characters, you're going to have to create a new page on your website to target more of those keywords. And Nikara, as I got confused, should we have different keywords on different pages? Yes, you want to have different keywords on every page on your website. You don't want to have the same keywords on multiple pages, because then you're just competing against yourself and you're going to cannibalize your results, and it's going to dilute the efforts that you're doing. And Jamie, so pages can have multiple tag pairs, or generally. So I guess your question is, can pages, every page on your website has an SEO title tag and a meta description. So you want to make sure you optimize your SEO title tag and your meta description on every page on your website. And Victoria, thanks for the shout out. Victoria came to my class, and thanks for saying how it's valuable. So there's one review right there for Victoria. Brandon's class is well worth the money, and I am trying to help everyone out, passing on savings to everyone right now during the quarantine and what's going on, because I know it's not the easiest time, and I'm sure digital marketing, SEO is not top of mind for everyone. But if you do want to check that class out, it is on August 15th, and I hope everyone can make it out. And if you don't have any other questions, I hope to see everyone next week, where I'm going to go in depth about how to optimize your website content for SEO. And see, Caroline is asking, do spaces count as part of the 60 characters? And yes, they do count as part of the 60 characters. And yes, you write one on each page on your website. And I'll be sending out a recording of this. So if you did miss the beginning, because I covered all this, I'll send that out to everyone so you could be able to read it at your own pace. And